We have been talking about growing our families this week on North Dakota Today with our Oh Baby Week, and we can't leave out adoption. Today, Ashley Ray Klinger joins us to talk a little bit about your story as well. Of course, you're familiar to North Dakota Today viewers because we have you on talking about your platform of foster care with Mrs. International and also with the 2021 North Dakota Mother of the Year. I always say you wear so many different hats, but number one job is your mom. Your mom.
Absolutely.
And so in the break we were talking too a little bit about how we're talking about, getting pregnant, carrying, with the surrogacy, fertility issues. Talk about your story, how it led you to adoption.
Yeah, first of all, it's so great to be back in person.
In person.
So it's so good to see you. So my husband and I, when we got married 5.5 years ago, like most couples, tried to get pregnant. And it was then that we realized that we were impacted by infertility and couldn't have, for whatever reasons, children on our own. And it was really a moment in prayer where I was praying to God to help us conceive, help us conceive, help us conceive. When all of a sudden on my heart it was, Ashley, do you want to be pregnant or do you want to be a parent? And hands down, I just wanted to be a parent. I knew I wanted to be a mom. Andrew wanted to be a dad. And so in that moment, our prayers changed from help us become pregnant to just help us be a parent in whatever way you see fit. And that's how we got to adoption and foster care.
Okay, so the first step then went into foster care because that's, and you still are a foster parent.
We are, yeah. So our little guy, Micah, was in the foster care system at the time, and his plan was changing from reunification with his birth family, because that's always the ultimate goal with foster care, but it was changing from that to adoption. And of course, they look for family members who are interested and willing to adopt. And right away we said, sign us up. Yes, and so that's where our journey began, was adopting Micah. And it was through the process of adopting Micah that our eyes were really open to foster care and the need for foster families and the amount of children in the foster care system. And so we adopted Micah, got him into our home, and then really started the journey with foster care and trying to get more families to become foster families.
And so being a foster family and being a mom when you're fostering, that's a very important role. Sometimes we forget about the fact that these are children who need a mom, whether you end up adopting or you just need a mom at that time.
And you know what I share with everybody is, as a woman originally, when I realized I couldn't have children, I felt like a failure. I felt inadequate. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And there was a moment where I realized giving birth or not to my children doesn't define me as their mom. It is my ability to love them and to nurture them and protect them and guide them and teach them and do all of those things that moms do. That defines me as their parent. And that's with foster children. They maybe are only in our home for a temporary amount of time. It could be for a week, it could be for 2 years. But being a parent to them isn't defined by whether we gave birth to them or not. It's what we can do for them while they're in our care. And that's why I'm just so passionate about foster care, because there are so many children in the foster care system that need families for certain amounts of time to help them, to support them and their birth families. And so that's why we're just always so passionate about talking about it. And again, it allows us the opportunity to be parents also, which was our ultimate goal.
We just talked to you as well on North Dakota Today as you were celebrating the future adoption of a couple more children. Three more.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
3.
Don't know how you do it. Don't know how. But let's talk a little bit about the process. So you've adopted one, in the process of 3 more. How does that feel? Can you, we talk about, the day your child is born. Talk about the day that you adopt a child and they're yours.
Yeah, so the first day that you'll remember forever is the day that our caseworker called us and said, are you ready to be a parent? Because you have been identified as that child's forever family. It was just, it's like the pregnancy test moment, right? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a mom. And so that day you'll never forget. And then going through the process of adoption, let's be honest, it can be hard. It's grueling. It's a long period of time. There's paperwork, there's background checks, there's, they check your finances, there's references. It can be a challenge in the sense that you maybe feel like you're jumping through a lot of hoops and you're being judged, and you've got to prove yourself to be a parent when, how is it fair that other people can just be pregnant and here I am trying to prove over and over and over again that I'm a good parent. So it can be frustrating, it can be discouraging, but it is so worth it in the end. And we would go through that process 1,000 times over for the children that we have in our home. But the day that you go to court and you sign on that dotted line, and you know that they're just forever yours, it's just a weight off of your shoulder. It doesn't change for us. I mean, just because we go to court and sign on the paper, they don't become our children any more than they are right now. We still love them as if they are our own, no matter how long they're in our home. But the day that you sign on that paper and they're forever yours is just, it's a day that you just don't forget. It's like giving birth to a child. Even though I never have, I guess it's kind of the same thing.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's so incredible. And I know that we talked when you were given the honor of the 2021 North Dakota Mother of the Year, that it's nice that they also honored you because you're a mom through adoption, you know, so it didn't make it any less of a family.
Yeah, that meant a lot to me, so thank you.
Ashley Ray, thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate it. Stay with us. Coming up here on North Dakota Today, a little bit of a turn, the heartache that can come when families lose a child. But there is help. There's a community that will wrap their arms around you. We're talking to the Hopeful Heart Project next.